This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without consequence. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
We can enter any home we want, and we will want. His wanting is our will in this finite. Don't force us to hurt you. He's just like a purge.
Well, that was different. I guess we're live. Hold on just a moment. It wasn't supposed to do that. It was supposed to intro us in. That was crazy. I guess the computer's ready to purge some BS. So thank y'all for stopping in, because we are here, ready to purge the BS. If you guys can make sure you tap the like button on your way in, it would be greatly appreciated. Special shouts to Purple Groovy, IMZ, stopping in nice and early. Make sure y'all do not forget to join the Discord discussions. That's where we get it in, because YouTube, as we know, is very sensitive. So I'm bringing on my man Bravo with me tonight to purge this BS, because it's been quite the week. So Bravo, would you purge this BS with me tonight? Please. Please.
I'm with you.
All right, I gotta turn you up a little bit. Can you turn your mic up a little bit?
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, there we go. I like that. That's more like it. That's more like
There
it.
we go.
All right, so we got my man Bravo in here. So today's purge, Bravo, I don't know if you checked the notes for today, but we are doing our episode called A Quiet Place. Okay? If you remember the Quiet Place movies, for those that have seen them, the basic premise was the second you make some noise, some shit comes out the woods and gets you, basically, right? And I feel like we're kind of in a modern day quiet place where if you say something at the wrong time, something's coming out of the woods to come get you. So I wanted to expound on that in tonight's episode as they prepare for this Charlie Kirk situation and the new FCC regulations on what they call hate speech. There's a lot going on with the First Amendment, and you know we stand firm on that First Amendment. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna purge some BS tonight. You ready? All right, we are ready.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Get it done. Okay, so before I stretch it way out, we got about 14 people already in here, so that's a good start in the first 2 minutes. So I need all 14 of y'all to hit the like button as of 5 seconds ago. Do it on the way in. Let the algorithm know we're here, because we cover a number of topics. So if you miss it, sometimes you won't catch it on the replay. And I will say this, Bravo, I got some good news. YouTube, after I spoke, I spoke my words in my way to them about the issue I was having with them flagging all the videos. And they basically stopped flagging all the videos. So I think we're off to a good start, man. As of about, a couple days ago.
That's dope.
Yeah, so they stopped flagging everything. They got me on one thing, but I knew they were going to get me on it. So it wasn't a surprise. It was like a copyright thing, and I knew they were going to come back for it.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Well, that's dope, yo.
Yeah, they were telling us we were giving people misinformation and promoting drug use and all types of crazy stuff they were hitting us with, man. So after I finally blasted them on multiple forums.
Well, were we though?
Well, you know, it's all about perspective, my friend. I would say that we were not, but to an automated algorithm, perhaps using the term ice cream cocaine was a problem.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it didn't know. It didn't know what we were talking about. So because of that, it decided to, basically flag everything. So we're not bad over here.
Yikes.
If you're new to this channel, we are not abrasive. Actually, we are a little bit.
Very much so. We're not your enemy.
Yeah, we're not an enemy, but we definitely are a little abrasive. A little bit.
Definitely.
So, So I just wanted to give you that good news that we made it through a whole week with no videos getting hit. None of the shorts got hit. Nothing got hit for a whole straight week. And that's the first time that's happened since we started this channel. So I guess they heard me.
Absolutely amazing, man.
Well, I blasted them on X, and then they had like a bot come and answer me. And I said, you know, the irony of a bot answering my question is exactly what the problem is. And so I went back and forth with the bot for a second. Then some guy, I guess a human, took over. And then 2 days later, I haven't seen nothing flagged other than the copyright thing that I knew I was going to get flagged for because I was playing Dame Dash's new artist song. So I knew there was going to be something with that. But other than that, they didn't say nothing. They didn't say nothing.
That's dope, yo. That's dope. I mean, it's actually really sad that you actually have to use X as YouTube's customer service. That's absolutely insane.
It's
That's
a sign of the times, my friend.
We're living in today.
Sign of the times,
you know
my
what I'm
friend. You got to sick AIs on each other. You got to sick them on each other. Oh, really? YouTube's not promoting your content? Oh, and that's the post that I put up that got the most visibility on X. Like I put up all types of stuff, but that one. Right. Everybody was looking at it like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just me. No, it's not just you. A lot of us out here.
It's been like that since it was Twitter, man. Since they put up that roadblock from you getting, like, even people who have channels, they can't get to their representative. They have to go to @Team YouTube on not even back in the Twitter days. They still had to do it that way. So it's kind of sucks.
That's who it was, @Team YouTube. That's who I ended up talking to. So let's see if they hold tight tonight. Because we definitely got a few things that we're going to cover that are a little on the edge, on the edge a little bit. So I'm going to get right into it with our first purge of the evening. It's a follow-up story to a story we covered, let's say back in June was when we covered this story. So it was a story about a guy who picked up his kids for custody, like visitation, and then they found the kids wrapped up in bags. And they were no longer alive. And then the guy disappeared. So he's been gone for a few months. But we got an update on that. So I'm going to bring that in. We're going to talk about it real quick because I just wanted to follow up with those that were still interested in the case. Sorry. Jeez. All right, so let's check this out.
Under the jail.
Yeah,
under the jail, man.
Yeah, he's going under the jail. Jeez. So we got, oh, shoot, I'm in the wrong. I got to share it with you. Shared it with the people and not with you.
That'd be nice.
That. Yeah, gotcha.
That'd be nice.
Okay. All right, so this guy's name was Travis Decker. Some of you may remember him, some of you may not. But basically, he picked up his 3 daughters, and then a few hours later, they were found deceased, wrapped in plastic bags, and dumped by a river somewhere. So they went through months and months of a manhunt. Now, I will say this. I called it the first day that they weren't going to find him alive, but that is what happened. They found some remains. They believe it's him. So he is gone off to judgment, and I'm pretty sure I know where he went. So
you know what the worst thing about this is that this is such a horrific crime that I'm not even allowed to make a double-decker joke.
You can't make it as a joke.
I know, right?
But
it's a shame that I can't make that joke.
Yeah, it's such a shame that you can't even say what you already said. Wait, it's crazy, right? But nonetheless, so the guy, they went through 3 counties. He was in a wooded area. I think he had some military experience, so they were expecting to have a tough time finding him. But they did find him, but they just found remains of him. So he has gone off to, I would say a better place, but I don't think he went to a better place. Not if you take out your 3 children and leave them on the side of the road.
So did it? So how did it end? Did he do, self-deletion by cop type of deal, or
I don't think they have. I don't think they have the specifics there. I'm looking at it now. They just found remains among a trove of evidence. Decomposition was certainly in place. Bone portions had been spread. So apparently animals. It said animals got to the scene before the police did.
What happened to Papa Decker here? Like, where is he?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The kids were found a while ago. That's what started this. But,
I know.
But he was probably out in the woods, messing around with some animals, living out there amongst them, dancing with the wolves, as they would say. and it looks like they turned on him, and he ended up becoming lunch and dinner for a couple of animals out there.
That's who they. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
new. Okay, all right.
They said they found several items that had been spread around, so you could tell the likelihood that animals had already been on the scene. You know what that means? He got ate up by bears or something. Okay, so
he probably went out to the woods and went out the punk way. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking.
That's what I thought.
I don't think. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
That's what I'm thinking.
But most animals don't like to eat carcasses. They like to hunt. The animals that are, that eat that kind of stuff, they like it to be fresh.
It depends on how hungry it is, or how hungry you are, or how fresh they come upon you. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So,
and he only, what's funny? What's worse about this is, it was only a 3-hour custody visit that he originally had. So in 3 hours, he went from picking up his kids to them being found on the side of the road somewhere.
Did no one have any inkling of an idea of what was going on in this man's mind? Like, no one knew nothing about.
What's funny is, I think the ex-wife or whatever, the baby mama, she mentioned that he was a little unhinged, but she never thought he would do something. So he was probably a little weird, but to take out 3 of your own kids like that, that's just crazy. So
triple decker.
And honestly, if you're only getting 3 hours of visitation, he's like one step above supervised visitation. So there was some level of trust missing there when it came to
exactly. That's my point. There were already some kind of warning signs, but I mean, hindsight is it's 2020, of course. But you know what I mean. I get it, but like we really could have looked a little further into it. If somebody's capable of doing that, there is usually some kind of sign. There's usually some kind of sign.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig a little more now that they found him. Maybe they'll find some additional evidence that makes more sense. Other than he just picked up the kids, didn't say anything, didn't look like anything was wrong, and decided to do that. But either way, I think justice has been served, and dinner has been served to the animals as well. So
nothing looked wrong except him looking like that. He looks like a My Name Is Earl extra.
All right, well, let me unshare this one. It is hot in here. You warm? I'm warm.
That's what happens when when you're surrounded with the BS, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It'd be hot. It gets hot in here.
Give me 1 second.
Hot off the presses.
1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, man. Do your thing. While you're doing that, I do want to thank everybody that's watching. Make sure you see that little graphic up there in the corner. It's not just for show. Make sure you stop by the store, show some support, cop some gear, and support the cause. It's for a good reason.
Yeah, we're just getting started. I got some really cool interviews coming up in the next month or two that I've been working on. I'm not going to tell y'all everything just yet, but just know we're about to start having some star power on this joint. Like, apparently people have been watching this show, and there are some other folks out there that really respect what it is we do. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate them. So let's get to our second purginistic situation here. I believe this one, this is Karen. This is a Karen. I can tell from the first shot this is a Karen.
Is it Karen with no Allen?
No Allen on this one. It's just Karen. It's just Karen.
Geez.
Yes, and that gets crazy because they don't know how to take care of themselves, so to speak. Like, they need help, and we're here to help.
Yeah, Karens don't be
We're
Karen.
here to help. Karens don't be. I like the way. All right, let's see what I got here for the Karen situation.
All right.
One. Okay, so apparently Karen is scared of mirrors. Okay. Sure.
We ain't telling her to get that haircut.
So, all right, let me share this thing out, man.
Make sure you tip your makeup artist.
All right, so here's a Karen.
They showed me behind the scenes, but I get it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it.
That's all good.
All right, are you seeing Karen or are you seeing something else?
I'm seeing the behind the scenes footage.
Oh, you're seeing behind the scenes.
Your setup.
Okay, hold on. We bring it back.
It's all good.
Well, the crowd could see. The crowd.
There you go.
Could see.
No worries.
Okay. Well, let me bring it back.
Yeah. All right. Bless you.
All right. Sorry. This to here. To here.
Speaking of mirrors, I'll mention that after this clip. Yeah, let's talk about this clip first.
All right, well, let's look at the clip.
I see her.
You see her?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Get her some volume.
Around. You almost set my house on fire.
Set your house on fire.
You fucker! That was reflecting the sunlight.
You motherfuckers are the biggest nut jobs I have ever encountered in my life.
You come over when the sun's shining and you feel my sighting. It is hotter than hell.
You think that mirror
Yes.
is going to set your house on fire?
Yes, I know it will.
Okay. This lady here thinks this mirror is going to set her house on fire over there.
And make sure that you tell them that it's the direct sunlight in the mornings, okay?
Okay, well, if you had came and asked me
in the
nicely, it wouldn't have
mornings.
been a problem. But when your dipshit fucking husband comes over here and threatens to bust my property, then it's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm not the one to fuck with.
Well, you don't fuck with me either.
Hit me, I dare you.
Oh, dude. Hit me, I dare you. First of all, you're too close to Karen. Gentleman who's filming. He's too close to Karen.
Karen's comeback was amazing. that is a fucking problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And her neck has a hue of red. So I'm guessing
It's
one of those.
got a little ruby. It's got a ruby tint to it.
Got a ruby tint. All right.
You. Go back to your fucking property, you psycho bitch. I will fuck you both up.
You take care of that or I will call the police.
Call them. What do you
Okay,
think
I
they're
will.
going to do? Go call the police right now and tell them that I got a mirror on my property. Go call them.
That you will not.
Go call them. No, go call them. Go call them. We'll see.
Now, I will say this.
That.
Me
That's
personally, I think this guy handled it relatively well. I probably would have used a few more expletives when speaking myself.
Well, apparently the husband had already come over
Mm-hmm.
and threatened to break it. So he said, "Yeah, it's a fucking problem when your husband comes over and threatens to bust my shit up."
Yeah,
He's
that's
like,
a
"I'm gonna
problem.
fuck both of y'all up." That's what he said.
And now the
These
truth
are his
is,
words.
Why would he send the Karen wife back by herself? She could get hurt.
I don't think he sent her. Yeah, I don't think he sent her. I think that she would not be denied.
Well,
I think she's that type.
Here's the question: how valid is her argument? Could a mirror across the street set her house on fire?
Do you know how many strange atmospheric occurrences would need to happen simultaneously in order just to raise the temperature, even the smallest amount, to set her house on fire? It is ridiculous. That little mirror, unless it is in the shape of a convex, right, like a cone, or you know what I mean, like a bowl, it can't focus enough for light energy to create enough heat to burn anything.
Yeah,
that's why you use a magnifying glass to burn stuff.
That is true. And Karen, but Karen firmly believes this. So, aren't we in the time now where we appease people's feelings? She feels like this is a problem, so shouldn't.
Well, you can't believe her. Her arm is in a splint from the last time she tried to do math. So it's okay. You know what I mean? She's just not. She's not capable of understanding.
And I want to give a shout to No Reply in the chat, who said the husband had come over there and was going to break the mirror, but was afraid of getting 7 years of bad luck. Great comment. And I also believe that this Karen doesn't like looking at mirrors. That's what I believe. I think that's the real problem. Her reflection it's probably not there. There's probably no reflection of her there because she's an animal. She's a vampire. So
I think he's already had the 7 years of bad luck married to that one.
Yeah.
So anytime
you send your wife to go talk to the neighbors like that, well, you said he probably didn't send her, but like my wife wouldn't do that. Like if I already went over there, she's not gonna go over there behind me. If I didn't whoop ass when I was there, then it's kind of like it's kind of the end of the story.
Look, so here's what I'm gonna say. I was looking at the background, right?
Right.
I am seeing rancher style houses, 1-level houses, right? I'm seeing a lot of cargo vans and trucks. I'm not seeing sidewalks. I'm seeing telephone. This looks like a gun carrying state that she's in. So she's being very bold.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Being very bold.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? That, ooh, Lord Jeeby.
Well, if you're out there in the wild, folks, you got to watch out for these Karens. They're relentless, and apparently they don't like mirrors. You got to watch out for that. So, I don't know. I just wanted to know, like, was there any credence to this argument? Because me personally, I was like, there's no way a mirror's going to burn your house down, like, from across the street. What are you talking about? But I'm no science guy, so I figured I'd bring it to the people. Because it sounded like some bullshit.
No reply said it.
Yeah.
No reply said it. Just the, more concise than I did. It's too much divergence in the light, right? You can't converge the light enough to make a beam, right?
Right.
But also, speaking of mirrors, one of the funniest things you should check out is listings for mirrors for sale on Craigslist. Because you see the craziest shit in the background.
Oh, because they're taking pictures of the mirror and they're seeing,
yeah. It is the most hilarious thing ever.
Well, in certain places, I tell people all the time, the stuff that's behind you in the mirror tells a lot about what's in front of you in that house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It says a lot.
You remember the 2010s where a lot of girls would take bathroom selfies, but then like their son would have shit in the toilet and not flushed it.
Right. Or they got like a bunch of wigs on the side of the tub in the background, or hanging on the towel rack. Wigs on the towel rack is diabolical. I'm sorry.
Roach spray next to this bath soap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough out there. So, but anyway, I'm hoping that this Karen is okay. But I have now been subscribed to Karen's Gone Crazy, so I guess we're going to get our fill of these videos over the next couple weeks. And since it's video and we're reacting to it, it's not hate speech, guys. Whoever's watching, not hate speech. We're just talking about this lady who happens to be the quintessential Karen. But the word Karen is now known as a derogatory term.
Seems to be. Yeah. Seems to be.
And that sucks for anybody whose name is actually Karen.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've always thought about that. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta suck.
Sucks for them. So
this is your life now.
This is your life now because some lady named Karen in HR started this shit. And now every person named Karen is thinking of changing their name. Damn shame. Damn shame. All right, let me get to the next perch. Let's stop the share here. All right.
Oh, speaking of unfortunate names, I actually have a black friend named Elon.
Does he smell musky?
No. He does bathe. He does bathe.
That's
Unlike the last person in the last clip. But yeah, dude, like he's around my age. He's well past 30. And his name is Elon, and I'm just like, oh, that sucks. It was probably real cool for a long time.
Yeah. Now they look at him funny every time somebody says his name. Elon is right now, currently, Elon is sort of slid to the back a little bit. He did get like $1 billion from Tesla, was it? Didn't he get $1 billion something from them? He's been real quiet since he got that. He's been real quiet.
He's been getting his bread.
Yeah.
He's been getting his bread. And that's what he should have been doing. That's the whole thing. Like, you already are the richest person. You don't have to get everybody to like you too. Just stop. Stop with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah. Well, I wish I could have got $1 billion and then I would be quiet. Give me $1 billion, I'll shut up. You won't never see another episode of this shit.
Give me $10,000. I know what to do with that. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm out.
I'm out. You won't see me no more. You'll see AI generated content or something like that, but you won't see me no more. Oh, sir.
So, bro.
Yeah. But anyway. No, I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not. Well, depends on the price. It's negotiable. Okay.
We live in the world. We live in the world post Epstein, post Diddy, man. You can't say that out loud anymore.
What? It's negotiable.
You don't know what. Don't know what they're gonna be putting on the table.
Oh, it's negotiable. Oh, it's negotiable, is it? Okay. Well, check this out. Guess what we got for you.
Right.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Before we continue our negotiations, we need to come up with a safe word.
Right.
No.
So let me get to our next BS to purge, which is apparently there was a teacher that got caught with some cocaine. So apparently we're going down Cocaine Street again. So we're going to get caught with or hit with, what is that again? Promoting drug use.
You need the booger sugar, anything, man.
Yeah, you can't say it smells wonderful. You can't say that anymore. Apparently,
you can't say it has a vibrant aroma.
Yeah, you can't say it. It's a very energetic scent.
Right.
You know?
It's invigorating.
Yeah,
right.
It's better than smelling salts. If you want to pick me up,
espressos for the nose. Yes, I know, but
all right. See, that's how we get in trouble. Because the AI stuff does not know sarcasm. It hasn't figured that out yet. So I'll hear about that later.
It's gonna be a long night, man.
Yeah, because we got a couple of things that are gonna definitely piss a few automated systems off. This next one might do that because, like I said, it involves Rogas. Okay, I'm gonna say that before they cut me early. They like to cut me early when I say stuff like that. And we got a drug dog that apparently was called to a school, and while the drug dog was at the school, it found cocaine in the bag of a teacher. So we're gonna go over the story.
Yeah, she's like, I probably like something. I need something to do with these damn kids.
These damn kids is driving me nuts, man. I needed to pick me up. I need a bump in the morning. Anyway, I didn't say that. But this lady did. Yeah. All right. So let me bring her on over here.
Right. If they pay teachers more, maybe she wouldn't need a night job and then need booger sugar to stay up.
See if it's going to show me an A.
At Granger, we're for the ones who pay attention to.
You know it will.
Every time, man. Every time.
You know it will.
For the ad.
You sharing that with me?
No, I'm not sharing it yet with anybody. I'm waiting until the ad is over.
All right, cool.
And the ad's not over for 10 more seconds. So in that 10 seconds, I need everybody that's tuned in to make sure you hit that like button. Keep the algorithm awake right now. I know it's our Saturday night show, so sometimes the algorithm goes to sleep on us. But let's see what we got here. So bring it on over. Do me share.
Maybe it was an overzealous student. You know, some kids bring apples in for the teacher.
Yo, you know what? I'm not even gonna do it.
You know what I mean? Be like, look, I'm really looking forward to getting an A in this class.
Right. I'm really thinking that placing this on your desk would be helpful to my grade. You agree?
Right.
Don't you agree, teacher lady?
All
right.
We both get something we want.
All right. Could you see the clip on here?
Yeah, I see it. Yes, sir.
Right, let's get some volume. Get this thing going.
A math teacher was arrested at West Elm Middle School today in Baton Rouge. Officials say she was caught with cocaine during a random drug search. We're told a drug dog found the substance in a wallet belonging to Virginia Summers. According to sources, it was tested and confirmed to be cocaine. When searching Summers' car, officials say they found marijuana and pipes. Summers claims that the cocaine did not belong to her, but to a friend. She now faces possession charges. These Baton Rouge.
She was hanging around middle schoolers too long with that excuse.
Now, I just heard the person in the interview say that they searched her car. So I thought it was something that happened within the school, but no, somebody dimed her out, and that's why they were searching her car. Because then if they were just searching the school, then they would have just found, something in her bag or whatever in the school. But apparently they searched her car. So somebody was like, yeah, I don't think this teacher's been teaching correctly lately. I think she's been coming in a little high.
And yeah. She probably came in like smelling, you know what I mean? Like she just chiefed up.
They said that she had some marijuana in the car. She had some cocaine. She had some pipes. So she was getting tooted on the way to school. Like, I'm gonna tell you what, she was zooting it up on the way to school. It's probably every day. This was definitely not the first time. That was probably the most exciting first period class that anybody would come into. Was this a middle school or high school?
Yeah, in the middle school. You know she's doing too much because she has both the upper and the downer. Like, she's doing too much of both.
She's excited, then she's nodding out at the same time.
Right. I'm just trying to even out, Daddy.
Right. I hope she didn't, go through hard times and like offer to do something with one of the kids, and that's how this became a problem. Like,
she probably bought it from one of the kids at the school, and gave him a fake 20, and he dimed her out.
They dimed her out. Can't be giving up them fake 20s. All right, we got 20 seconds left in the clip. Let's see what else they got to say. Hopefully they don't try to show me another ad.
Public school system, for their part, released a statement tonight. It says, please be assured that this behavior is not condoned by our district, and we remain committed to maintaining a safe, secure, and drug-free environment for all students and staff.
Man,
Okay.
listen,
Okay.
something happened to make folks go and look in her car.
They had to.
You know what I mean?
They had to. No
This-
replies
because-
in the
yeah.
chat snitching on itself. No reply you in the chat snitching on yourself. Talking about I smoke every day, all day, and smell like straight dank all the time, but I can't smell it, so you never know you smell like weed if you smoke. Which is true.
That's not he's not lying.
That
He's
is
not
true.
lying. I
That
remember
is
back
true.
back in my days when I was chiefing it up.
Yeah, you think you don't
Like,
smell
yeah, I
nothing,
didn't know.
and then you walk in
Right.
a room and everybody's looking at you like, what are you guys looking at? It's you. You smell like an ashtray. That's what we're looking at. So
Right.
yeah, I'm inclined to believe. I'm trying to see if there's any additional. No, this is some bullshit and ads. But I was trying to see if, like, how it became a problem. Like, was she acting out in class?
Wait a minute. No, look at the title. Drug dog visiting middle school. Maybe they were walking up to the
Oh,
school.
they were just walking
and the dog-
around, and the dog hit on the wallet, and then they had to search her belongings, her car, and everything. That's what happened.
That's
Okay.
the worst. That's the
Okay.
worst luck ever. You know, she deserved that, dumbass.
Drug dog
You know what I mean?
was
Like,
at Westdale Middle School when Virginia Summers was reportedly found with cocaine inside of a wallet. Drugs were tested and confirmed. Officials said that Summers told them the cocaine belonged to a friend. We heard that part. And then they went and searched her car. So, yeah, there was like a dog, maybe just career day or some shit was going on.
but here's the thing. My wife has worked in education for 25 years. Police exhibitions, no matter what they are, they're announced to the entire staff.
Well, she thought,
Everyone knows this is going to happen.
nobody would smell the cocaine. She didn't
Yeah,
know that the
okay.
dog was going to be that good. The cocaine
Well, she
was in her
smelled the
wallet.
cocaine, obviously.
Yeah, she smelled the hell out of that cocaine. She knew exactly what it smelled like. So that would suck though. You're like in there, there's like an assembly going on. They're showing off these cool deputy dogs or whatever you want to call them. And then one of them starts barking
Right.
at the teacher and grabbing at her pockets or something, or purse. And they're like, well, these dogs are trained. So ma'am, it seems like you might have something in that purse. And she did.
I think that's the only acceptable time to shit yourself.
Yeah. I think it would have been perfectly
I think that's
acceptable.
it.
You went to work.
I think it's perfectly acceptable, right? You know what I mean? To
Drug
shit
dog.
yourself is like, I don't know what your dog's into, but I have Crohn's disease.
Right. Right. Better do something. That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway,
That's hilarious.
I actually think it's pretty funny too. That's why I brought it to you. Because it's like you go to work, you're thinking you're getting away with something, and they're having career day at the school, and the police are there showing off their little deputy dogs, and their deputy dogs wanted to make an example to say, hey, we can find this stuff anywhere, even in this school. And here,
This shit is
steps
a
in
Darwin
Summers.
Award, yo. This is a 100% Darwin Award. You knew that damn dog was coming. You knew it.
She got over a decade of teaching experience too, so she's really not doing much else with her life. Think she'll get hired somewhere else?
Probably.
Yeah, they'll probably be like, yo, make sure you bring some of that over here. It's been tough since Trump started blowing up people, bringing coca across the water. So we're going to need some teachers over here to have some connections. Now, I'm saying
Yeah,
that
man.
sarcastically, algorithm and sensitive people in the chat. This is sarcasm, okay? Jesus. Trying not to get in trouble this week. At least-
Yeah, well, I think it's a little
maybe.
late for that. I think
I'm
we're
trying to
good.
make it through a whole week without getting in trouble. And if we make it through tonight, it will be a whole week where we didn't get flagged on any
okay.
videos.
If she was doing the booger sugar while she was driving, would that be called speed bumps?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, just making sure. I'm
Yep.
just trying to figure out the terminology.
Yeah, I think that's called speed bumping. It sounds like it's a good word for it. I mean, even if that's not the
Why
official,
not?
yeah, that's not the official one,
Right.
but I agree with it and I stamp it.
There you
So-
go. Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
All right, so let's get to our next purge here. Okay. All right, you got it. All right, everybody, I must now say, because of the last segment, do not do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay? We here at Purge of the BS do not promote hard drug use. Hard narcotics, cocaine, heroin, things like that. We don't promote any of those things. Now, what you choose to do
Only
in your
legal ones.
Yeah, we only promote legal drugs, the ones that they've put in the system here to kill us anyway.
What the government wants you to have.
Yeah, the stuff the government wants us to kill ourselves with. We promote all that. Yeah, my little cigars. I got a little cigar right now. Most times it's cigarettes, vapes, and all that other stuff.
Alcohol. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what?
Alcohol, big pharma.
Yep. So I don't know. Maybe if I start promoting that stuff over here, they'll give us more reach. If we start going against it, maybe I'll start doing that.
Just start saying Ozempic every 15th word. You know, I'm sure like every the reach will go further.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm just happy we didn't get hit in a week. I'm gonna explain this one more time to the folks, and I'll make it a mathematical thing. This year, this channel put up more than 150 pieces of content, just over 150 pieces of content, between lives, short, so on and so forth.
Impressive.
Right?
Impressive.
In that 150 pieces of content, they flagged 148 of those pieces. I'm sorry, they flagged all of them. Let's start with that. Out of the 150 that they flagged, 148 of them they were wrong on, and they had to release the flaggage after the fact. So that means they're wrong 98% of the time. And they slowed down the push on our videos because of that. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to ask some questions. And so here we are. We actually might have made it through a whole week without getting hit. I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers. Now, no reply. Don't say nothing crazy in the chat. They watch the chat too.
Well, you know what? Something's going on, because I don't know if you saw, like, a lot of big creators were talking about numbers are down.
Way down.
How they're not counting. Okay, so there's a couple of things. I've seen, they first thought it was because it was restricted mode, but that's not it. They've already proven that's not it. A couple of things they've been talking about is that their desktop viewing is now underrated because a lot of people have blockers on their browsers. And so they're not counting those views. So that's one thing there. And another thing is that this is a normal downtime every year. And one guy went back, this YouTuber named Spiffing Brit, he's a game content guy, says this happens every year, and they always give out the same message. When summer is over, people go back to school starts, people's jobs, summer vacations end, you know what I mean? Views do drop. It just normally happens.
But so it's the opposite right now. We were up Schitt's Creek for like a month and a half straight. I couldn't get a video to pull more than 1,000 views on anything, not shorts, not lives, not nothing, right? And I started seeing what you were talking about, everybody talking about the same thing. So I kind of calmed down on it. I was like, all right, well, as long as it's not just me, I'm all right with that, you know? But then it started to get ridiculous. Like when they started to send me hits about certain videos, I'm like, there is nothing in this video that is abrasive or violent. There's no blood or drugs in it. They just were hitting everything. It was based on the words that we were using, because it's just scanning words. So it's not understanding comedy at all, and it's not understanding sarcasm. So that's what we do a lot over here. So they hit every video. But I think it's what I think. There's two things. The first thing I want to say is I think it's not in their best interest to fix that, because all it does is make it harder for you, but they still get the ad revenue regardless, right? So it's your problem, not theirs, right? But the second thing is, the thing that I think is eased up is because views are down. It's in general, so it doesn't behoove them to block any video that's getting any kind of movement. You know what I mean? Because if everything's are down or views are down or this or that, so it kind of makes sense. But it really sucks. It really sucks that we're on this platform and this is the one that pays the most. So yeah, I was the one that got us in trouble.
What we do.
I got us in trouble by talking about AI. That was what really started it, was when I was talking negatively about AI, and then come to find out AI was designed to protect its own reputation because of the financial implications of a mass exodus from AI. So talking about AI negatively apparently was a bad idea. I didn't know that, found that out the hard way. And so now we're back in business. I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. Right. Oh, you know, Tesla just got their first 10,000 order for the Optimus robot, 10,000 units.
That's
I want to say
crazy.
it's going to China. It's going to somebody for industrial work. I think they should I guess they should replace the people they've been deporting. They might need that there. You know, maybe get some robots to do that
Just
shit.
hire a person.
Right?
Have you seen these things? These things suck. They're
do.
not good.
They're not that good.
They're not good. You know what I mean? So, like, first of all, the problem is that the best robots that have ever done anything that help us don't have legs. None of the best robots don't have legs. They either have wheels or they're bolted in place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The vacuum bots, the vacuum robots, the ones that clean the house, those are awesome.
They're doing their job.
Yeah, doing their
They don't
job.
have no
And
legs.
then they go sit back in their little cubby charger until the next time that they're scheduled to clean the house. I mean, I can't complain about that. That's what they're supposed to do. All this other stuff, people trying to create girlfriends and wives out of these people. That's not where we need to go, folks.
No, not at all.
So,
not at all.
Speaking of where people need to go or don't need to go, I got a really interesting story for our next purge of the beat. I have to check this out. We got a scuba diver. A scuba diver.
New at 4,
thief. Like, I don't even know how to describe this, but apparently this guy is scuba diving and then robbing and then jumping back in the water and going away. Yes. And
hey, look, I can't be mad at that. That's innovative, man. What are you gonna do? Chase you?
Yo, no reply is in the chat. Digitally jerking off AI right now. We love AI. We worship AI. We trust AI with whatever they tell us to do. Yeah, that's great. That's great. They'll allow us to get some push for saying that kind of stuff. Now here's the question, Bravo. If we got, let's say, a sponsorship offer from an AI company to like push AI every episode in a positive manner, would you take that sponsorship? And not millions of dollars. I would let you take it.
I would let you take it, but I would be me during your give it authenticity.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
To give it authenticity, I would still be me, and you would convince me of the benefits of that. So that would be the premise of the whatchamacallit.
Okay.
That would be the premise of the ad.
Pretty good too. All right, well, let's see what we got going on with
that way. We get money, and I keep my integrity. So
yes.
Okay, number one.
All right, so check this out with Scuba Steve over here.
Nice.
Scuba Steve is now Scuba Sleuth. So a man in scuba gear robs Disney restaurant and escapes into a pond. So
he's robbing the right people.
Yeah. So this is technically a WTF clip because it's Florida.
There you go.
Springs in Florida. So this is about as Florida as you get. Is a dude in scuba gear floating up to your restaurant and robbing everybody. Let's just see let's hear the story. Let's hear the story.
New at 4, we start with a Channel 9 exclusive that is almost unbelievable. It happened at Disney Springs. Good afternoon, I'm Greg Warman.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. Orange County deputies are looking for this man. They believe he swam up to a Disney Springs restaurant last night in a wetsuit and robbed it for thousands of dollars. Channel 9's Nick Pampatonis working this exclusive for us. He's live outside of Disney Springs. Nick, that suspect still on the run?
It's not clear where he got in and out of the water from. It could have been right here, frankly. That is the Paddlefish restaurant behind us, which was a crime scene at midnight. The Paddlefish restaurant prepared.
I'm going to pause it real quick. Imagine if you're sitting there eating at your table, right? And a dark figure comes up out the water. That dark figure ain't robbing me because I'm running immediately. Like, I'm not going to sit there.
Going.
Yeah,
I'm dragging my whole family behind me.
Everybody's
coming.
Like, and I'm taking this silverware. You know what I'm saying?
Right. and I'm not paying.
And I'm not paying. But I'm just thinking, like, if I'm sitting there and I saw a dude come up out the water and it was late night, oh, no, there's no pausing to see what this is. I'm leaving, and I'll hear about it later on the news.
I will have to say this. That is one of the coolest criminal outfits in real life I have ever seen.
He probably bought the gear very close to that place because they sell scuba gear everywhere in Florida. So he probably was on his way over there, bought it, and was
that hood and the glasses.
That looked pretty tough. With the silver goggles on, yo. The Olympic swimmer goggles, yo.
Do you think when he got suited up and ready for a crime, he kind of posed and checked himself out like, yo, this is shit, right?
Yeah, this is all right. This is all right.
So it's all right.
All right, so
Prepared to open as normal Monday, hours after deputies say this man swam up to the replica steamboat, stripped off his wetsuit, and robbed the restaurant of at least $10,000 in cash. A heavily redacted report showing it happened just after midnight, after the restaurant closed and the manager was counting money to put into the safe. Investigators said after the man spray painted the security camera, he forced two employees to get into the corner of the room and close their eyes. The robbery taking about 2 minutes before the man left and the employees called 911. Investigators believe the man, who was described as wearing clothes and a beanie by the employees, put his scuba gear on, got back into the water, and swam off.
Yo, he undressed there. They said he took the gear off. So he got there. So all this time, he's just there, changing clothes, robs the place, puts the scuba gear back on. Now, let me pause that, because if he took all this stuff off, did you not see his face? Did you not get a chance to see more of him?
He might have left the hood on, yeah. He might have left the hood on.
So, I don't know. It seems like, I'm with you on this. I think this is an inside job that came up at the end of the night when they're counting the money to put in the safe, when it was only employees in there. And you're right. He was probably in there calling everybody by first name. He's like, damn it, Jeff, hurry up. I know you have the key, Jeff. I know you have the key, Jeff. Come on, it's right back here. Let's go to the safe. I don't know what you're talking about.
The manager's giving a statement. Right. The manager's giving a statement. It's like, he came in the room, he said, come on, Steve. I know how much you guys got to tell.
Right.
See tomorrow.
I just left for my shift 2 hours ago. I know what y'all got in here. So
I know what y'all got.
Yeah.
See you at work tomorrow.
Yeah, kick that out. And then he puts the gear back on, jumps back into the water, and swims off into the night. So he's still on the loose. They don't know who the guy is, but they've put out a warning to the people in the Disney Springs area to be mindful of both alligators and Scuba Steve. So.
Yeah, when they put up a wanted poster, like, have you seen this criminal? There's like a picture of Dory from Finding Me.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know how much DNA you would leave behind once you jump back in the water. But he seemed, like I said, he seems to know where he was going. He knew the people that were going to be there.
That's hilarious.
This is like an obvious inside job.
Yeah, he had a safe place to change clothes. This is an inside job.
Yo, no reply is tripping me out in the chat right now. Talk about how could they have seen who he was when he told them to close their eyes. Now, I'm peeking. I'm peeking. At least one eyeball is peeking. I'm gonna see who it is. Yeah. And they probably had a voice that everybody recognized because they were just working there saying, welcome to Paddlefish or whatever the place is.
Home with the paddlefish. How can I help you? Welcome to Paddlefish. Home with the paddlefish. Take your order.
And the funny part is he didn't get attacked or eaten by alligators, which is actually more impressive to me.
He paid them off.
Yeah, any Florida water source is known for having alligators. And this guy probably smelled good because he was just coming off work at the restaurant. So let me let the last 30 seconds of it play in case there's anything else that needs to be known. But watch out, Disney Springs, folks. Don't sit too close to the water, okay?
But to where, they don't know. The investigation still active.
This is hilarious.
Nobody was hurt in this robbery. Investigators are still working this. It's still active, and both the owner of the restaurant and Disney spokespeople are referring all questions to them. Live in Lake Buena Vista, Nick Papantonis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Damn, Lake Buena Vista? I know exactly where that is. I know exactly where that is. Okay. So I guess I'm going to reference my old self.
I love it.
Referencing my old self. And for the diabolicality of this crime and the fact that nobody got hurt, I must give an applause. Okay? I'm sorry. Nobody got hurt.
Right. That qualifies as a 100% cool crime.
Yeah, we're all right with that. When they catch them, they won't catch them, but they might catch them. They might not catch them.
Nobody was hurt.
Get some copycat.
Nobody was hurt. It was a cool-ass outfit.
Now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say some racially charged shit. What are the chances that this swimming sleuth is of African American descent?
Well, he had a black suit on.
He did have a black suit on. So he
Isn't
wants
that black
people to
enough?
think he's black. He wants people to think he's black. He identifies as black. That's what
I'm just saying.
This is wrong.
If we're
This is wrong.
if we're looking for somebody who could swim really good in search of money, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about that.
Yeah, because black people have an affinity for the water, as we all know, and so this is a common thing that black people swimming around in lakes and all that and robbing people. This is
because we love to get, especially black women after they get their hair done. The first thing they do
is dive
go
in a
swimming.
lake. Yeah, go dive in a lake.
I
with
mean, everyone
alligators.
knows. Everyone
Now
knows.
here's my follow-up question: is $10,000 worth it? Like that's all
Well,
he
in
got was
Florida, it goes a lot further in Florida than it does anywhere
It
else.
does go a little further in Florida than it would in other places. I'll
But
say
down the
that.
East Coast, up and down the East Coast,
Yeah.
it goes further in Florida.
Yeah, if you go too far north, that's like a month's rent. that's what that is. So
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
10
That's an
10
Airbnb
10K
for a week.
Yeah, $10K though. He probably was expecting more than that. I would say that because you're gonna put your
Right.
whole situation on the line for just $10K, man. I know people that get $10K on a tax return. So robbing somebody for it is like that's stupid. Now $100K, not saying you should do it. I'm just saying it's more understandable that you would put yourself in that place to do it if it was a larger amount of money. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying anybody who's willing to do that, obviously they're not going to be, worried about too much because they're really worried about getting some money at some kind of way.
No reply said 10K in cash is worth it. I don't know.
You are not invited to the barbecue. No reply. I got to lock up on my silverware.
10K in 10 minutes. That is a pretty good hourly rate. If you wanted to break it down mathematically, it's a little bit of work for a larger return. But
10 years looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, 10 years for 10K. You don't even have enough to pay for the lawyer. Like what you stole,
Right.
you can't even pay for the lawyer that's going to get you off of that shit.
Depending on how verbal, if it's Disney that comes after you, Disney themselves, that won't even pay for your bond.
Yeah, Disney don't play that kind of stuff. But it's not. It's Disney Springs, which is a city technically. So it's not actually at Disney. It's just an area close to Disney called Disney Springs. So it's not in the park.
That's wild.
At Disney World or whatever. So, all right. Well, I said, I wanted to bring it to you. I didn't know it was a Florida thing, but I should have known. I should have immediately known that was a Florida crime. Definitely had Florida written all over it. All right, let's get to the next one.
That's 100% Florida. You're right. But a cool crime nonetheless.
Yeah. Next thing you know, we're going to be boarding people's ships and shit. Going to be boarding the schooners.
Look at me.
I am the captain now. I knew you were going to say it. I knew he was going to say it. But anyway, this guy we don't know who he is. I think the people that work there know exactly who it is. But they can't say for sure because he had on such a amazing disguise.
If the busboy shows up with a new watch on Monday.
with a fresh rollie on or something. Talk about welcome to the paddlefish, Yeah, well.
Right.
Disney. See, that's the other thing. The headline said that the man robs a Disney restaurant. That is not a Disney restaurant. That's a restaurant.
Disney Springs.
It's in Disney Springs, which is close to Disney, but not actually part of Disney. It's just geographically close. It's kind of like, like how New York State has a New York City. There's like these areas, but it's not the same exact thing. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm gonna follow up on this one because I do want to know when they catch the guy. Like I want to hear something. I want him to tell me why he did it. They kept taking my damn tips off the table. They owed me that $10,000.
What if he had a very simple explanation? Like, why did you do it? Because I wanted their money.
Right. I saw this money and I wanted it. And then
and I wanted it.
And I saw that there was water and I know how to swim and I put two and two together.
Right.
So $10,000 isn't that heavy if it's in, $100 bills. Right. But if it was in like quarter rolls and shit and he tried to jump back in the water, that's the end of his life. So,
Yeah, do you think he had to hang it up in the bathroom and dry it all?
Probably when he got home,
Put
he's
it-
sitting there with the
put it in
blow
the
dryer.
dryer.
Yeah, with the blow dryer and got the clothesline with the money hanging on it, like in what was that?
Right.
That Set It Off or something. I remember they were doing that in some movie where
Yeah.
all the money got wet.
I forget what. That's funny, man.
Who knows?
So look for anybody who lives in a 3-mile radius whose utility bill spiked over the last 2 days. And you get,
You
got your
got him.
man.
You got him. Now he might be smart and launder it at someone else's place so that they don't trace it to him.
That's real laundering money. Yeah, I get it.
Really launder. So, all right, let's see what our next one is, because I wasn't expecting that. I'll be forgetting what's on here. Oh my God, we're getting into the thick piece here.
Uh-oh. Pause.
Sorry. But this one,
excuse me, sir?
Yo, this one, I'm sorry. Like, I gotta pause for the call. Gotta set this up correctly, right? There is so much going on with this damn administration, right? That, you know, when you take away the bullshit and the stuff that's kind of like, you know, totally goes against Constitution and, you know, humanity and a few other things. But if you peel back a few layers, you do get to some comedy. And this next one is comedy. This one just popped up today. But apparently Donald Julius Trump and his crew has decided to do a UFC fight on the White House lawn.
Yes. I heard about this, man.
This is real. This is not trollage. This is absolutely happening. And I'm just going to bring you the story over here real quick. We'll see what it's talking about.
You can't tell me Idiocracy wasn't real, man.
I swear to God,
You
I just
can't
watched
tell
that
me.
movie. I just watched that movie the other day. And do you know why? It was because it was trending again. So there's more people feeling like us, man. They're looking at the movie again like, you know, this all looks familiar. Let me go check that movie out one more time. And literally, I watched that whole movie again. I want to say it was about 3 or 4 days ago. I was up late.
Right.
And I'm on my Amazon, and it was trending on Amazon. I said, damn, we were just talking about this movie. So I watched it again. And it was actually even more funny watching it now.
Now.
Yeah. It
Yes.
was hilarious.
Because it predicted the future. It predicted so much stuff. It really did.
So let me show you what the White House put out today. Okay? The White House. The White House put this out. All right? Check this out. All right. Ridiculous. Yo. When I saw this, I said to myself, the only word that I could say was unbelievable. So when I saw it at first, right, I didn't know that it was real. I thought somebody just AI generated it or whatever. But no, this was put out by the actual White House X page, the official White House page, and puts out, see you on the South Lawn.
This is not good, man.
So now here's the real question. 5.6 million people have already viewed this post. It just came out earlier today. So here's the question. Would you attend?
No.
You wouldn't attend. Okay.
No.
You wouldn't attend it?
No. No, because you need to, sometimes you just have to be on the right side of history.
you got to use common sense. So
sometimes you just can't just be like, I was there, you know, but you were there. You were supposed, because to be there, somebody either had to pay for you to be there or you paid to be there, which means you put money into this ghoulish exhibition.
Yeah, well, this is happening.
Because
this is happening, bro.
Yeah. But the thing is that we have the power, people with the common sense have the power to let them lose money. To not watch it, to not tune in. You know what I mean? But I know it's not going to happen because everybody needs to see something. We're all dopamine addicted, so we need to see shit. You know what I mean? I personally will not watch this for any money. I might go on the high seas. Yeah, I might go on the high seas. I might don my eye patch and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But no, I'm not gonna give any dollars to this.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
This is the thing. You know, the president's administration felt that there was a need for an event that would bring people together and bring down the temperature on the violence. So what better event than two people beating the shit out of each other in an octagon on the lawn would do that? I think this is I think that's what he's going for, and America loves to see people beat each other up. We're actually
the best thing about this. The best thing about this is neither of the fighters are named Epstein.
I think they should do a celebrity boxing on the Capitol lawn. That would have been fun.
Oh yeah, who Epstein versus who?
Well, Epstein's dead, so that wouldn't work too well. But
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Dig him up.
Just put the body out there and start punching it. That's horrible. See,
exactly.
That's how we get in trouble. We're talking about the necromancer out here or something like that. Like, what are we talking about?
Yo, tell me this doesn't look like the corporal punishment or whatever the thing was when they were judging him.
Yes.
In Idiocracy.
Yes, it does.
Tell me this doesn't look like Hector Elizondo.
This, my friend, is exactly why I brought it to you. I knew you would see what I see. I knew you would see what I see. And when I first saw it, I thought it was BS. But then I saw who posted it. I said, oh, the White House posted this. This is real. This is actually happening. So apparently this is supposed to be coming up, I think in November. I think was the so the golden age of America is here, and we have UFC fights on the Capitol lawn. Welcome to 2025.
The craziest part about this is there's no cap. We used to make fun of other countries for doing this kind of thing, because there's a country, Turkmenistan, right, that has the most world records in the world because they just do wild shit that nobody's ever done. And they just do it all the time, like the most ivory horses in the smallest building, like some weirdest thing ever, right? That's what they do. And we used to laugh at that because the leader, the dictator of that country, does all these things just to be recognized. And now we're doing the same kind of gruesome, spectacular event just to get eyeballs. But we still haven't figured out our economy. We still don't have infrastructure. We still don't have them damn Epstein files. So I'm not getting distracted.
Let me help you. Since you mentioned the economy, it's only going to cost the American taxpayer $150 million to do this. So it's
that's cheaper than this parade.
Yeah,
that's cheaper than the parade where they couldn't even get the people to march on time.
I'm sure it was $150 million. Let's see what they said in the. Now people are getting into it, as you can see. So it didn't take me long. Didn't take me long. And this is what happened in Idiocracy. It was literally.
Yes.
So anyway, y'all get it, but it's going to cost $150 million. There you go. So $150 million they appropriated for events, celebrations, and festivities surrounding the observance and commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the United States. So this is what we're doing.
Why are the American people paying for a private event? UFC owns all of that. Why are we paying for that?
Because it's celebrating America's 250 years. This is brutal America. We must see brutality at the 250. So we got to pay for it. It is what it is. That's what they're thinking.
Okay.
Hey, you want to party on the freaking White House lawn? Here you go. And your ticket was paid with your tax return.
You know what's funny? Almost everybody who was on those floor seats, right, would not have paid for this event as we have paid for this event, because they're taking U.S. dollars, right? Yep. Which is taken from tax money. Mm-hmm. Everybody who has enough money to sit on these floor seats are probably evading taxes in every simple way, kind of way, so they can afford to sit down there, and they get the front row seats. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's crazy how that works, right? Now here's the thing that I had mentioned earlier when I was talking to my wife about this, because we just saw this right before the podcast, and I was like, oh, I got to bring this to Bravo. He's going to love this one. This is what they thought, in a different way, Obama was going to do. They thought Obama was going to have cookouts and shit going on the White House lawn, dog fighting in the backyard, all of the stereotypical black stuff.
It's called projecting.
Yeah.
It's called projecting, right?
And truthfully,
it's called projecting.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I would rather watch this UFC shit than Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather fight, if I'm being honest.
I think everybody should boycott that as well, because I no longer have the respect for Iron Mike like I used to, because he literally showed his ass and sold his ass on TV. He did that to us.
To us.
He used the last bit of it, the last bit of his cachet. He sold it, and that's fine. That's what he wanted to do. I don't have to be a part of it. This is ridiculous. And and like I'm going to loop it back to the whole thing about projecting. They thought Obama was going to do this kind of thing, but they go ahead and do it.
Right.
They thought that all of the woke folks were attacking comedy, but they're the ones that are doing it. You know what I mean?
We get that's
they
next.
Thought
that's
all
the
of
next segment. We're getting right into that.
They thought all the bleeding heart, the bleeding heart liberals were going to attack your First Amendment when they are the ones doing that. You know what I mean? They say they want all this freedom, but they are creating more laws against more people than anyone else. So it's always been projection. And exactly what Purple Groovy said: feed the distraction and starve the focus.
Yep. And that's a really major point right there. They've been feeding the shit out of the distractions and starving the focus. Just like when that Charlie Kirk thing happened, that was the same day they made the vote to not. I know. That's the same day that they made the vote to not release the rest of the Epstein stuff. Nobody heard about that shit though, because everybody was so focused on Charlie Kirk. So meanwhile, behind your back, while that was going on, if you thought that they were going to give you the Epstein files, like I've been saying, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. So I think, I hate to say it this way, but we might have to let that one go, because none of us in the regular public has enough power to change what the hell they're doing in that building down there when it comes to that.
All them buildings, man. The thing is that while we are sitting here saying what we're saying, I am still speaking to everybody that I know who I speak with on a regular basis. They say, don't complain to me about it. Get your ass out and vote in a couple months, next year. Go out and vote. Show me that way. If you don't vote, I don't want to hear you.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Whichever way you want to do it. But just go participate.
Yeah, be part of the shit. Be part of it.
Right.
Yeah. That way you have your opinion. You cast your ballot based on your opinion.
Right.
Hey, you can stand on your own opinion. It is what it is. Me personally, I think that this UFC thing is a waste of money. UFC has their own thing. They don't need the White House to sponsor events or create events on the White House lawn. They could have done a million other things to commemorate 250 years of the United States being formed. And they decided to do a UFC. If this is not idiocracy in real time, I don't know what it is. Like, they could have done some real serious, they could have really dug deep. They could have had, they could have done a lot. They could have even gone and had,
they could have talked about
Revolutionary War. Yeah, they could have done a whole parade.
Yes, they could have talked about religious freedoms. They could have talked about, the manifest destiny spirit and going and trailblazing, going westward, and just talking about just the growth of the nation coming together and forming a Declaration of Independence, and, getting through the whole slavery thing. Our military folks, you know what I mean? They could have, gave a good speech about that, or a good section of the celebration.
Some jets flying around and shit, show off the new technology.
I'm sure they're gonna have a flyover.
They'll have a flyover sure. with the blue, red, and white smoke coming out the back or something.
Smoke.
Man, they're gonna do all that. But I think America is bigger than UFC, and I think to commemorate the United States of America, a big UFC fight was not the way to go. But I'm sure our president will be front row, and there's going to be thousands of people there. And speaking of thousands of people, there's going to be, they're doing the Charlie Kirk thing tomorrow. I guess like the memorial celebration, if you want to call it that. They're expecting over 100,000 people to be there. Got to do the damn thing in a football stadium. I didn't even know Charlie Kirk was that big. He's not an elected official. So I'm just wondering.
No, the thing... they're making him a martyr. It's a message in and of itself. This whole thing is a message in and of itself. It was not, let's be honest, he wasn't that important. He really wasn't. You know what I mean? What he did was he got paid by rich people to get more people to support them and people to vote. Did he create? I don't know any organizations that he created to put books in backpacks. You know what I mean? No.
Turning Point.
I know Turning Point. But what did they do other than talk to people and debate people and make them believe certain or help them to believe their way of thinking? What community outreach was happening? Like what books and backpacks were they doing? What feeding the hungry were they doing? Like what churches did they visit to do, godly works as if they're trying to follow, a Christian focus.
Right.
Christian ideas, actions were they doing? Other than getting paid to say a lot of things that were very simply, common sense and human nature.
Yeah,
talking points, but then also peppering them in with some nasty stuff. You know what I mean? And sneaking in some nasty stuff. So now you can be like, well, I believe with 98% of what he says, but that one thing he says about black women not being smart enough to hold office, you know what I mean? Other than that, I'm like, no, that's disqualifying. That is disqualifying.
Well,
sorry.
And apparently, Charlie Kirk and George Floyd had the same birthday, which is now new information. I don't know how important it is. It's more of a coincidence, I guess. Because if not, then anybody who's born October 14th should be looking out. If that's what they want us to believe. No, I think that was just a coincidence, but there's some irony there.
The thing that really bothers me the most is that I am very sad that a person died. I don't like that. That's not cool. You know what I mean? But canonizing a person that was not a very good person, it does not make sense to me. We can do better as a nation. You know what I mean?
And I'm just saying, I'm hoping that when my time comes, can I get a football stadium funeral joint? Can I get one of those?
Well, first, you need to get a billionaire paying you first, because he definitely was Peter Thiel's boy.
Because that's, I'm just being honest. I don't know anybody else that if that happened to, they would be football stadium in and half-massing the flags. And, they even did a vote, and they're going to do a holiday for Charlie Kirk. Did you hear that?
They wouldn't even, what? I bet you cash money. They wouldn't even do this for Joe Rogan.
Right about that.
I know they wouldn't.
Let me get to the second piece of this purge piece here, because we got to talk about the holiday that has now been planned. Okay? So hold on. Let's get into it. So recently, the House came together, and they have decided, why is this thing so low? I hate when it does this. The House has decided to create a Charlie Kirk resolution, some Charlie Kirk laws.
Well, at least they agree on something.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. It wasn't full agreement. It wasn't 100%, of course.
I know it wasn't, yeah.
But with the majority that is currently in there, they got it through. So I'm going to bring you the story, because Mike Johnson, whose name I hate saying because I feel like I should say pause every time I say his name. It's just me. But basically, he had to come talk to the press after the fact to basically, because I thought they had a resolution for not shutting the government down that they were working on. I didn't know that. I thought that's what we were working on. I didn't know we had to come up with a new holiday right now. Like, couldn't they have waited? Did MLK get a holiday in the same month that something happened to him?
No.
It took years, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it took a few years. Then they started renaming streets and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't an overnight, oh my God, this happened yesterday, let's now do all of this for this person on this day. They didn't do that for JFK. Does JFK have a holiday?
Definitely not.
He was a president. And they
just lump him in. He just lump him into President's Day.
President's Day. Yeah, that's what he got. He got President's Day.
For all y'all.
All right. Well, let's hear what Speaker Mike Johnson has to say, because when you say it real fast, it sounds like My Johnson, and that's what I don't like about this guy's name. Sorry, I'm a little elementary when it comes to some of my humor, but that's a very plausible moment. It sounds like a name that Bart Simpson would call and ask for when he was calling the bar, asking for the weird ass names. So let's bring it
sounds
over.
like it sounds like an activity on a brothel menu. Mike Johnson,
yeah, I'll
please.
take a Mike Johnson. With the happy ending, of course.
Happy ending, good, of course.
All right, let's
anything to drink. Surprise me.
Let's bring this. All right, we just got this and one more thing, and then we are done with the purge today. But I had to bring this up because there is so much going on where they're trying to silence people Meanwhile, they are, of course, exalting Mr. Charlie Kirk. Now, similar to you, I don't feel good that anybody got unalived on main stage like that or in any sense, right? But I just think they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot with this. Maybe is it just me, or does it just seem like it's more than I've ever seen them do for anyone ever who was or was not a president of the United States? I've never seen this before.
This is like what I'm saying is that we are allowing these distractions to take our attention. This is all these things are. They're trying. It's the economy of rage, man. That's what they're trying to do, is make us upset about a different thing constantly, so we can't sit there and think about the things that need to happen. Because nobody who makes less than $250,000 a year life has gotten better this last year. No one.
Unless they were heavily invested in something like crypto or one of the businesses. But just regular, average, everyday citizens, pockets got hit. Gas is still too damn high and will continue to be. So we're missing,
none
we're
of these
missing
things,
it. We're missing it, man.
Right.
Like,
none of these things that they're doing are helping them. None of these things that they're doing.
But before we get ourselves in trouble and get kimmeled, okay? Before we get kimmeled over here, which that's the next segment, I'm going to let you hear what Mike Johnson had to say. If you can hear it, I'll turn the closed captions on because for some reason this tab or this video is just real quiet. I don't know.
Why does he look like a suspect?
If they choose to vote against this clean, completely nonpartisan CR, then they will be choosing to shut the government down, and they will owe the consequences of what happens.
Whoa. Did I just hear him use the Charlie Kirk thing is how you're going to shut the government down? So if you don't vote yes on this, you don't get the continuing resolution for the salaries of the government?
It shouldn't be a part of it.
It's not even. Oh my God! I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I thought it was something totally different. I didn't know that.
You remember early purges when I was coming on that we were talking about pork and how they just keep on, and I was like, be a single vote, single issue. Single issue bills should be single issue bills should be the thing. And I told you about how the setups happen. And I was breaking new light for you. I was like, yeah, what they'll do is they'll get a bill that everybody agrees on, but then when they don't want it to go through and want to blame it on somebody else, they'll throw something in wild that the other side will never agree to. But then they say, see, they don't want to do.
They want to shut the government down. No, maybe they just didn't think Charlie Kirk needed a holiday just yet. Like, can we put the man in the ground first? Like, can we get past the initial of it before we start calling things holidays? And because people have already gotten in so much trouble behind this Charlie Kirk thing. People losing their jobs in the government too, not just average everyday citizens, but in the government for speaking out against some of his opinions and some of the things that he said. And he definitely said a few things that pissed some people off. So you got to allow people to have that. Like
he said empathy is a disease that needs to be cut out from the nation. So what are we doing?
Right.
We're not even going by his own words.
Right. Because we shouldn't care. Then we shouldn't care at all.
Right.
We should just say condolences to the family and we move on with our lives. But that's not what they're going to let us do. We're not allowed to do that. So you're going to have to let them have this one because, hey, they never asked me where they were going to have the funeral. They decided to do State Farm Arena and they needed 100,000 seats, and they're going to have big old jumbotrons outside the parking lot for the people that can't get in. This is like a major event that really shouldn't be.
They don't need to do nothing open air in Utah. Hopefully,
for real.
They don't need to do nothing.
Well, this is going to be in Arizona, so
okay,
yeah.
All right.
So maybe Arizona's safer than Utah.
Maybe.
Well, let me let him finish talking. Let me let him finish talking. But that first sentence with him saying, well, if they don't vote for this, they want to shut the government down. First of all, Charlie Kirk didn't work for the government. So what the hell are you talking about? But anyway, let me let him finish.
He's a college dropout.
Let me finish. I'm a college dropout, technically.
No, but the thing is that we're exalting him like he was Jesus light. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He was. He wasn't great. He said some things that made sense, but he said a lot of horrible things too. So I'm sad he's gone, but let him go.
They used his death to push through a continuing resolution. That's interesting. I didn't know they did that.
Following
anyway,
that.
Let's finish it up.
I think it's a very shameful turn of events. I hope they do the right thing, and Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate have an opportunity to do that. Everybody in America can see what happens with it. The second vote we took here was also the right thing to do. We passed a resolution to honor the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk, my late friend, the friend of so many in this chamber, and we called out political violence in America. In fact, I want to read with you the final line of this resolution, because I think it's something that the American people are eager to hear. It says this, quote, "The House of Representatives calls upon all Americans to reject political violence, recommit to respectful debate, uphold American values, and respect one another as fellow Americans." Sadly, a number of Democrats could not bring themselves to vote for that. We have to let everybody make...
I'm going to pause it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
See, okay, so if you want all Americans to reject political violence, then every war that we are having needs to stop, because that is the epitome of political violence. Everywhere that we have people stationed at and shooting people, every place that we have the U.S. stationed and shooting people on behalf of the U.S.'s interests, that should stop, because that is political violence. Anytime our army goes boots on the ground anywhere else, that is political violence. So no. You can't just say a term and think it only means one thing. It casts a wide net, my friend. So stop using that stuff. Anyway.
All right, let's let them keep
their own judgments about that. I just think that the resolution and the clean short-term CR were the right things to do today. I think it does right by the American people, right by our system, and I think everybody will recognize that. I'll just say this. The ball is in Chuck Schumer's court. I hope he does the right thing. I hope he does not choose to shut the government down and inflict pain unnecessarily on the American people. I hope that they will vote on this clean short-term CR so that we can continue the work to get our appropriations done. I'll take a couple questions. Yes.
All right, we're not going to listen to the questions.
What does this teach our children, man? We have people who look important lying to you for a living, and we pay them to do that.
We pay them
every time. What does this teach our children?
No, I don't think this is about our children. I think this is only about the people who exist right now. I don't think anybody's paying attention to how this plays out a few years from now when people ask about, well, who was Charlie Kirk? Like the folks who are either not born yet or way too young to even know who he is. Similar to, remember Columbus Day? Remember when we were kids, it was Indigenous a literal holiday. You got off from school on Columbus Day. Then one day, somebody was like, by the way, dude was totally drunk. He brought disease to a group of people and almost killed all of them. So maybe we shouldn't celebrate this guy. Like, it was good that he discovered the new world, but he didn't discover it. It was already here. There was people here.
Right. That's why it's called America, not Colombia.
Right. They slaughtered the freaking people and put them up on reservations where they're at to this day. And maybe we shouldn't celebrate the guy. So I think something like that might happen later, where somebody will come up and say, you know what, I was looking over some of this Charlie Kirk stuff. Why does he have a holiday again?
What did he do?
Yeah, Malcolm X don't have no holiday. Now, I'm not saying Charlie Kirk and Malcolm X are the same, but I think that's my point, is even Malcolm X don't have a holiday.
Where did Charlie march? Where's his name on legislation? What are we celebrating this dude for? Like, for real.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like I said, he said a lot. Charlie Kirk did say a lot, and a lot of people, in my opinion, never even really followed any of his stuff until he was dead. So you can't even really make a good, argument if you haven't seen full context of the content. So some things were used as rage bait, but other things, like the statement about empathy, he did say that, but he was saying it only because he was also saying it because people who are empathetic get basically done over wrong. Like, being too empathetic makes you susceptible to being taken advantage of. Kind of what he was trying to say, or what I gathered from it, which is true to a degree, but does that mean that we shouldn't be empathetic because somebody else might be a nefarious person and takes advantage of it?
Isn't that isn't that antithetical to like Christian practices in the first place? That's ridiculous.
I would love to dig into the Bible and find out more about that, but there's so much controversy over these statements that the man said. I just don't think doing a holiday and everything right now was a correct move. Now they want to recognize them and all of that.
Right now or ever.
Well,
right now or ever.
I don't know if ever, but definitely not right now. Because if you speak out against the holiday thing, then they'll tell you that you're like heartless and you're just being disrespectful to the dead or whatever. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't see why he gets a holiday, or even the government talking about a holiday. Like, I know a lot of great people who have passed on, and they're not even the subject of discussion. So, I don't know, man. I'll let, like I keep saying, because I want to keep myself out of the crosshairs these days. You know, we just got back on YouTube's good side. But for me, it's kind of like, you know what? We're going to have to let them have it. Whatever it is they're doing, we're going to have to let them have it. You know why? Because when they're making these decisions, the regular American public is not part of that. The only decision we get to make is the vote. So you got to show up and vote.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Our public representatives do not fear us.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Why should they, though?
You know what I mean? Exactly. That's the problem. Like, you have to realize what it is that is happening. Anytime that they get into power, these people who lust after power, what they do is they pull the ladder up, right? They stop it so other people can't either get them out or get to where they are, right? So like they give you more distractions, they give you more candy, they get you to be addicted to your social media feeds, they get you on rage bait instead of telling you actual facts. They don't help you. They say that they're helping you, but they don't help you. We need to kick them out. We need to kick them out and get people who do help us, because they're supposed to represent us.
That would be awesome. But I don't think enough people were paying attention when it really meant something. We were being distracted. And now that we got all this stuff happening, it's every day with the current administration. They're coming out with some new executive order. They're changing the name of a Gulf. They're blowing up people coming across the water from Venezuela. I've seen 3 of those so far, where they're just like, hey, we saw some drug traffickers. Look what we did to them. Boom. And I'm like,
that's a war.
I was about to say, is that legal? Like, are we supposed to do that? Aren't you just supposed to arrest them when they get here? Like, isn't that what customs and shit does? And you catch them when they get here, and then you arrest them and extradite. You don't just blow them up from space. Like, I don't know what that is I'm watching. Yeah, you're telling me that's what it is, but I don't know if that's just some random boat of some person you didn't like. I don't know. I just think that's a bit much. That's a bit much. But they have been taking drugs off the street. I'll give them that. There has been a lot of drugs taken off the street.
I don't know the numbers for that. I don't know the numbers for that. They may have, but have they just racked up arrests rather than taking drugs off the streets? Is that what are they equating the things? Does it have anything to do with racial profiling is now legal via the Supreme Court? Does that have anything to do with that? You know what I mean? Like, the shit is fucked up right now. I'm sorry. I mean, things are bad. Excuse me. Sorry.
Well, no Reply went and did some research while we were over here chatting, and did bring up some good information about the MLK holiday. Wasn't a holiday until 1983, which was 32 years after that actually happened. So it wasn't right away. It was something that happened. You know, they came to Congress and somebody said, hey, this is an idea. And they ran with it and they got a holiday. But before there was a holiday, there were streets that were named after Martin Luther King. Pretty much every major city in the U.S. has a Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard somewhere. So the other thing about empathy, and I'm going to say this, there is a such thing as an empath. There are people that literally can walk into a room and they can feel the energy of the room. They feel the people's energy in the room. So if there's a depressed person, they take some of that on. If there's an excited person, they take some of that on. That is empathy. Sympathy is hearing somebody's story and saying, oh, man, that sucks. That's sympathy.
Right.
Empathy is actually feeling sorry for them. Empathy is feeling sorry with them. Like, you get that same, you'll get that same sinking feeling that they're feeling. You get it inside of you. That's what makes an empath. So I don't agree with the whole, empathy versus sympathy. I think they both exist, and I don't think either one of them is a negative. I think people feeling other people's sorrows and energies is part of the human experience, really. Like, we should take it.
It's a valid thing.
Yeah. So I know that's going to be back and forth with, well, he said through empathy, so I'm not going to be empathetic. You don't have to be empathetic to be sympathetic. And you could be sympathetic to his kids who lost their dad. You don't have to say nothing else. Hey, I'm sad to hear that some kids lost their dad in a violent way. You don't have to say nothing about what their dad said, but you can be sympathetic to a child losing their parent. You can find something to be sympathetic to. Empathetic would be totally different, where it's like you're feeling the loss specifically. And I don't think a lot of people are feeling the loss. I also think not as many people knew that Charlie Kirk was as popular as he actually was. I didn't know he was that popular. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know. I didn't know he was, fly the flags at half staff and football stadium funeral popular. I just didn't know that.
I don't even think he is that popular. I think that this is just being used, I think, as a tool for distraction again, because he recently was speaking again. I forget what position he had. I think it was something with the Israel-Palestine. I think he had a stance against Palestinians just being killed en masse, right? But then his donor told him, stop doing that. And he immediately issued an apology and a retraction of that statement and everything. So I can't remember what the stance was, but I know it happened just recently, like within the last 2 months, he did that. And so I don't think anybody like that deserves a holiday, for real, for real. You know what I mean? Like, and I think and he wasn't that, he was being used as a tool, as a voice box for a certain ideology, but he wasn't important because they could replace him with anybody. All they have to do is put their money behind the next one.
Right, right. And that's an honest truth. So like I said, I just didn't know he was that popular. I knew who he was. I didn't follow his content or anything like that myself, but I did know who he was. I just didn't know he was that popular to whomever, and to the point where they can utilize it to that degree. Like, if he had certain things in his past, like they caught him with some kids or something, the second somebody tried to bring up recognizing him or, doing this commemorative thing for him, they would have shut that down. And I guess it was because they couldn't poke enough holes in it to say that, well, we don't need to celebrate this guy at all. At this point, it's kind of like you got to let him have it. That's how I feel about it. Going against this is a bad idea.
He's on record saying that Michelle Obama and the recent Supreme Court justice, the black lady, that they did not have the mental capacity to be taken serious.
I did hear that.
He's on record saying that.
I did hear that.
So do we need to celebrate this person? Because what he is saying through his own words is that because these black women, they got to their position from use, not on their intellect, but from handouts and exceptions. That's what he's saying. When they are both very exceptional people, way smarter than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, just saying something like that, it's shrouded. You know what I mean? I don't want to say the R word, but I'm saying it really feels like that.
It feels, you know what I mean? It feels a little yeah, the R word. It feels like that a little bit.
Right.
Like maybe just
it feels really heavy on the ethnic affinity or ethnic hatred side. You know what I mean? It feels like that. Yeah. It feels like that.
Well, we may have just gotten ourselves in trouble by even having this conversation, because right now in the US, as you know, speaking anything negatively about Charlie Kirk or anything that he had to say will get you canceled out. And that's why Jimmy Kimmel just recently got canceled. But on top of that, they are trying to basically push through an FCC change in regulation for this quote unquote hate speech, which really, hate speech is just, some speech is hate speech, okay? Some speeches, I just don't agree with this person, and I'm expressing that. That's not hate speech.
I hate their speech.
Right. I hate their speech, not hate speech. Hate speech is a whole different thing. And so anybody who's come out in the last week saying anything negative about Charlie Kirk or Republicans or MAGA or anything like that, they're all getting canceled. But then at the same time, they're also talking a lot of trash about the left being, you know, war criminals and violent and all this kind of stuff. And that could be considered hate speech because somebody may take up arms against that. So it's kind of like it's all over the place. So are we going to stop people from speaking, or are we just, I think the real issue for me is I don't think free speech is free. You can say it, but like you say all the time, you're not free from, you know, consequences of the speech.
Correct.
And that part is where it gets a little tricky. So at what point do we say when the consequences are too much for whatever the speech was? Like,
the thing is that we have been making fun of things forever. It's how we get through the pain. We have laughed at so many things. Some things we shouldn't even be laughing at, but we do because it helps to heal, right?
True.
But what is happening here, the prosecution of free speech from the same people who claim to protect it, is that's the issue. That's the real issue that's happening here. The folks that were saying you're not being allowed to do this and you're not being allowed to do that are the same people persecuting folks for the thing that they thought was going to be taken away if Blue ran wild. I think that the hypocrisy of it all is ridiculous.
It is.
And I don't understand why more people aren't stepping up and acting up about this.
Because they don't want to get canceled. They don't want to get canceled or ostracized.
You can't cancel everybody. You can't cancel everybody. That's the whole point of numbers. That's the whole point of organizing and all of that kind of stuff. That's the whole point. Ask Target about that. They know about a mobilized movement. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of a mobilized movement, let me bring you to our final purge of the day so that we can complete our purging and move into the remaining portions of our. Hold on just a moment. Sorry. Coughing. Let me get my clips together here. For some reason, my screen graphic just like melted into itself up at the top, but whatever, we're almost done. All the words just came together. Like all the words just decided, you know what, I'm one word now. We all identify as other words. So the most recent
for yourself.
We all identify as other words. Yeah, well, yeah, that's plausible. That's definitely plausible. And I want to give a special shout to No Reply while I got a quick break here. No Reply, thank you for always being able to pull that information when we need it live on the stream.
Hell yeah.
I am truly appreciative of that. And No Reply just earned wrench.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
So, No Reply, you just got your wrench, all right? You in.
Oh,
thank
congrats,
you.
bro.
And now don't disappear once
it.
you got the wrench. Don't disappear once you got the wrench. That's what's be happening.
Like,
they get the wrench and they disappear.
My plan all along. Then he disappeared.
Right. I'm a wrench holder in 5 different channels. So I'm sure some people are like that. They just come out on the YouTube and get wrenches and keep it moving. But anyway, so the last thing we got to talk about is the censorship push that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that someone with such controversial speech as Charlie Kirk would be the catalyst for this. For them to say, all right, now nobody can really speak freely. When truthfully, it was Jimmy Kimmel wasn't speaking. He wasn't talking mean. He was incorrect in his information. He gave out a piece of information that was incorrect, which happens. You can come back later and say, hey, I was wrong about this one thing I said. That was wrong, you know, and you can just move on. They didn't even give him a chance to do that.
It was an insult to Trump.
Yeah, it was an insult to Trump.
It was an insult to Trump. But then again, Trump was the one who got this running. He got this ball started with Colbert, right? So he already started with there. And the joke was funny. Oh, you like the fourth stage of grief is construction.
Is construction.
That
was actually funny. That's what I'm saying. Funny should never be attacked. I keep telling people, leave funny alone. If some shit is funny, leave that alone. But if he'd have been out there and, wishing death upon his children or some shit like that, you lost your dad, or some goofy shit like that, then I get it. But what he was doing was kind of trying to entertain his crowd. It seemed like it was a mild joke considering some of the things that had been said by Charlie Kirk himself. Comparing that to what Jimmy Kimmel said, it was kind of like, was it really worth all that? I don't think so. But nonetheless, the FCC is now, under the Trump administration, is getting ready to revoke broadcast licenses from stations that Trump believes are giving bad publicity.
That's the problem. That you can't tell me this sounds like a country you want to live in. You can't do that.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that you can't talk negatively about anything, apparently. Or if somebody
we can't talk about, so we can't say anything bad against our dearest leader.
Nope.
What does that sound like?
Don't say nothing.
What does that sound like?
You know what it sounds like, but we can't say it. Can't say nothing.
Right.
So I'm not going to say it.
Come on, man. Yeah. This is silly.
Yeah, but just to piggyback on my original statement, I watched the Jimmy Kimmel thing, and the best I could come up with was that there was some misinformation in there. But it was also very early in people investigating what was going on. So a lot of information wasn't even there yet. So he was speaking based on what was happening at the time. And then the next day they found out a little bit more, making that information incorrect. And then it became a thing. So
wait. So why is it so? Okay. So here's the thing. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So why doesn't everybody who had the wrong information at that point in time, why isn't every one of them getting pulled off the air?
That's my question as well. Why Jimmy Kimmel? Maybe Trump just didn't like Jimmy Kimmel's show and couldn't wait.
Maybe about it.
Yeah, that might be part of it, But it is a hold up, Jimmy Kimmel. You know what? I can't. Kimmy Kimmel show.
Right.
But we could have that. And I forgot who it was that put it up on one of my forums saying, how about Dave Chappelle goes and gets all these canceled comedians and does a show? Because Chappelle don't care. So he could get everybody under his thing, and I would watch this show. I was never a big fan of Jimmy Kimmel as a comedian, but
you remember when everybody was up in arms about Dave Chappelle? Like, oh my God, ooh, he's a turf. He's this, he's that. Oh, he keeps on talking. I'm like, dude, those were like the good old days. It's like compared to what's happening now.
I was watching. Let me tell you what I was watching earlier before I finished this last piece up. Right, I was sitting here watching. I watch old movies sometimes on the weekend with my wife, and we were watching Teen Wolf, the original one.
Yes,
the original Teen Wolf, and there was a scene in there where he's getting ready to tell his friend that he's a werewolf, and he's like, "Look, I got to tell you something, man. It's really important." And the friend turns to him and says, "You're not going to tell me you're a fag, are you?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you would never get that line through these days." But it played today. But it's because it was grandfathered in. You can't hold everybody accountable for 80s movies rhetoric in 2025. What was acceptable then is apparently not acceptable now. So I'm going to show you. No, go ahead.
Just to speak about old movies, up until the start of this year, I used to say, man, some movies just won't be able to get played anymore. And I used to think about like Blazing Saddles. You remember that movie? And I used to think about that because they didn't care about nothing. They made fun of everything. But up until this year, I didn't think it could be played again. But because it makes certain jokes about race, I think it's going to be allowed now. People will be like, oh, hell yeah, this is hilarious.
I mean, look, at this point, I think we should just let people say what they got to say, man. People want to get it up out their system. You got to let them say what they got to say. Now, as long as they don't threaten somebody's life and, that kind of goofy shit, I just think it's a bit much. But I want to play a quick clip from one George Carlin. to explain what we are about to see in the follow-up clip, and then we're going to get up out of here, okay? Where's my Carlin clip? Where's my Carlin? Hold on. Let me set this up correct, okay? This. Make sure I got everything.
Carlin's always been one of the greats, man. Always been one of the greats. He's always told how it is. Hell yeah,
he was amazing, more so because he did not give a fuck. He said what he had to say, and he was similar to Dave Chappelle in my eyes, where it's like he takes something that's serious and sort of flips the comedy of it, but he keeps the point of what he's trying to say. It's still a serious point, but he allows you to get through it with some comedy, and I love that. That's why I keep telling people, leave funny alone. Leave it alone, because we need it more now.
He was so genuine. He was so genuine with what he did that when he took a break from comedy and hosted a child's show. Remember that? When he was a conductor of that the kids show, he was a conductor of like some train station, and he was awesome at it. He was a really fun personality on that show. And I'm just like, that's how genuine he was.
All right, so George Carlin's going to give us a quick rundown of the FCC, known as the Federal Communications Commission, and also part of the, I guess kind of the problem that we're having now is some of these things were set up years ago before we even were paying attention. And that's why TV changed and radio changed and everything went from being super censored to, wow, you can say that? Like, we started hearing things in movies and seeing things on TV shows, and now we're so far gone to say that you can't say something. It's like, well, hold on a second. Right. People are saying all types of shit. What do you mean I can't tell a joke? Anyway, I'll let you see what George Carlin had to say about it, and then we'll go from there, okay? I got you. Bro. Now, I still haven't figured out how to make this one come in full screen without actually going to the page and pulling the specific. So what he's trying to say is basically certain things were exempted from the free speech mandate, but those things were things that you could easily just turn away from. And that's why they were initially not part of the whole free speech thing. Well, actually, they were part of it, and then somebody got upset by something that they saw on a TV show, and they started working all of that in. But for me personally, I think that we should fast forward about 20 years to now you can pretty much say anything, but if it offends certain groups, not all, certain groups, then you're going to have a problem.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing. He literally what he just said.
It might be.
He's the Mississippi Reverend.
Yeah, this guy. So let's see what the Trump guy has to say about the new FCC regulation. Hopefully they don't say. And let's cross our fingers.
Host is on
Here we go.
network television. There is a licensing. I'll give you an example. I read someplace that the networks were 97% against me.
Oh, you read someplace? Okay.
Negative, and yet I won easily. I won all 7 states popular.
So I'm just going to pause it here. The reason why he's doing this is because he was getting bad publicity. I thought that it was going to be a Charlie Kirky thing, but no, he made it about himself. So, okay, let's continue.
I won everything. And if they're 97% against, they give me only bad publicity or press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It would be up to Brendan Carr. I think Brendan Carr is outstanding. He's a patriot. He loves our country, and he's a tough guy. So we'll have to see. But when you think about this, 97% of the stories are opposed to me, and yet I win.
You notice he gave no reason.
It's pretty amazing.
He's just saying because they said bad things about him. He said 97%.
This is the words that he say, like 97%, you know what I mean? Or they are against me. So I'm gonna get bad publicity if 97% are against me. So they're getting a license. Maybe they shouldn't have a license. See, he knows how to talk like a criminal. Mm-hmm. He did not say because they should get their license taken away. He says, I don't know.
You know, they have a license. Somebody gives them a license. I don't know if they should have it.
Right. Yeah. And then he says, Mr. Carr is a good man. He's a strong guy. He's a great American. He's a patriot. You see, he knows how to talk like a criminal. And the thing is, I have had, let me stop. I know people who talk like this. So people need to understand what's not being said is what's really being said. You know, and this is an infringement on you being able to do what you want. If you ever make it, like you Hayes, if you make it and you get your own TV show, just because you said something about the president, they should be able to yank your crap off the TV.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
That's what he's setting up. And that's what the whole problem is with anybody who supports this guy. It's like he's setting up. This pendulum swings both ways. All of the things that he's setting up can be used against you as well.
Yep. And what I don't need is some more censorship. I just told y'all earlier about what I deal with the YouTube people. So if we can't say anything negative about the president, 'cause that sounds like what he's saying, then who can we say negative things about? We can't question some of the motives. We can't question the UFC fight in the fucking White House lawn. That can't be something I can say, hey, that doesn't seem like it's productive for America, but whatever. Like, we're not allowed to question.
UFC has blood sports. It's what folks crave.
But even so, like, we're not allowed to speak against it. And we've seen in the last week, we saw over 1,000 people lost their jobs just talking reckless about Charlie Kirk. Most of them didn't even really follow Charlie Kirk. They just were saying similar things to, why does this guy get so much accolades? That's pretty much what they were saying when he said these things and these other things. And that's a very worthy opinion to have if you listen to some of these clips and you listen to some of that content. As a person who lives here, we can question that. We can ask why he gets a football stadium funeral. Whereas there's many other people that were pillars in their own communities that we never heard of that have gone on, and nobody did anything even remotely close to that for them. Like, we get entertainers. Like, I think Michael Jackson had a parade when he died, and, you know, but people who are actually giving back and really doing stuff for the communities that they live in, they don't get anywhere near that kind of press. So,
like John Lewis, like, you know what I mean? Did he get a stadium? And he was in the fight. He was in the fight. They drew blood from him on Jerome Pettis Bridge. Like, the dogs got on him. Like, he's been in the fight since then. Did he get a stadium funeral?
No, he didn't. So, but you can't say that you don't agree with stadium funeral. That's the problem I have. Like, they're going to do what they're going to do. I don't have any control over that. But if I don't like it, I should be able to express that without worrying about getting my whole channel canceled because I don't agree with Donald Trump. Like, or Charlie Kirk or whoever. Like, I disagree with a lot of shit. That's why we have a show called Purge the Bullshit, because 90% of the shit is bullshit. So I have to get the people through it. And in order to do that, we have to be objective. And at times we have to be a bit abrasive about what we're looking at. So I'm not changing nothing based on this. I'm not changing nothing. If anything, I might go a little harder and see how far I can push this envelope. Since I did get them to back off a little bit about a week or so ago, why don't I go mess it back up again? You know,
that was good work. That was good work getting the back off. But the problem that always confounds me is that the folks who scream the loudest for freedom and liberty are standing idly by or championing it being taken away from them piece by piece by piece.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
That is exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Piece by piece by piece. We are losing the freedom to just have, to basically do what the fuck Charlie Kirk was doing, which was have debates and have differences of opinion. That's what he was doing. So this is opposite, you know, to some degree, this is opposite what Charlie Kirk was doing, or what I think he may have stood for. I don't believe that they're using it, but I don't think that it's in line with what he was doing. It doesn't make sense to me. So I think that's where my problem is. It's like, I feel that they are using this event to push through a bunch of legislation and certain changes in how people can speak online. And we went through the same thing a few years ago. So I'm getting tired of it myself. I'm personally getting tired of it. I think we should be able to say what we want to say. And just like George Carlin said in that clip, you can always change the station. You can always unsubscribe. You can always put a thumbs down on something. It'll never show you that content again. So there are ways to avoid these messages that you don't like. But for Trump, he just doesn't like bad press. That's his main thing. He didn't even say that the press accused him of something, you know, that didn't happen or something like that. No, he just said they say bad things about me and I don't like it. And I think they shouldn't do that so much. That's what he's saying. And to me, I'm like, you're the president. Everybody's supposed to get on you. You're the face of American government. So since we can't talk to them 400 people that's sitting in that chamber, you gonna get the smoke, bro. You. And that's what you signed up for, if you ask me.
Right, the buck stops with him. If you want to be in charge, you get the smoke. That's what happens.
You're gonna get the smoke every time, especially on this channel. Like I said, you do something goofy, I will bring it to the purge of the BS and allow it to be purged. I have no political affiliations with anybody. Nobody pays us for this content. YouTube doesn't like paying us for the shit. That's why they always hitting us with ad suitability and all types of stuff because of what we're talking about. But what we are talking about is the FCC does not get to tell me that I can't disagree with something I see the president, Charlie Kirk, or anybody else do on a public forum. You're not going to get me to shut the hell up. They want us to be quiet. They want everybody to be quiet and just do whatever the administration says to do, and then we'll all be fine. That's kind of what they want you to think. Is just do what Trump wants you to do, and you'll be fine. But will you be fine internally if you're not sticking to your own moral compass? I would say no. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with them trying to rewrite all of this stuff. If they're going to write something, maybe they should write some new legislation for traffic rules, because I hate traffic. Maybe we should work on traffic. Like, work on something that actually is going to benefit the American people. Canceling Jimmy Kimmel, I'm going to say, I don't think it benefited. It didn't benefit anything. It just brought some shit in the light, and it's a piggyback on what happened to Charlie Kirk. It's a fear-mongering. So people are going to be afraid to speak out. They're going to be afraid to step up because you're either going to get canceled or you might get shot in the damn neck. Who knows? You see what I'm saying? And so me personally, I'm not afraid of the shit, but I think everybody should know, if you haven't learned in the last week or so, jumping on the damn internet and just talking shit, it's not going to bode well for you. Okay? You got to say what you got to say. But
I want to add in on to that, because jumping on the internet and saying what you got to say ain't going to bode well for you. Because think about it. I need everybody to understand this clearly. Every platform that you are using that can actually reach a lot of people are owned, either fully or in part, by all the people standing behind him on election day. You have to know that. Every social media platform is owned by a billionaire that was standing behind him on inauguration day. Okay, so I need you guys to know that that is what's happening. So when you're talking about freedom of speech, that is a misnomer. You don't have it. It's not your platform. You know what I mean? And so what you need to do is make them afraid of you. And the funniest part about it is when a lot of red pillars are out there, they're yelling about things, and they keep on saying, George Soros back in this, that's one billionaire. There's like 18 of them on the other side. Yeah. Like, and they own how you speak. They own how, well, they don't own you. They own how you communicate. Like literally, Facebook, WhatsApp, X, to be Truth Social, YouTube, Instagram, all of that is owned by those people standing behind him on that day. So you have to make them afraid of you. We have to organize, come together, and choose not to use a certain product. Like boycotts work, yo. I'm not gonna lie to you. Boycotts work. But listen,
they do. Speaking of boycotts and stuff, I just wanted to throw the bug out there for those people that might be interested. They're doing another No Kings protest nationwide. Okay. They're expecting a few million people to take part of it. So if you are one of the people that wants to take part of it, look up the information in your area. But it's apparently October 18th. They're going to be doing it. I'll be out and about. I'll probably attend something, see if I can do some on-the-street interviews, because I do want to get out there and talk to the people. I cannot be afraid of the public and just be stuck in the studio all the time. But after the Charlie Kirk situation and them canceling people and how I see them people reacting when you're out on the street. I ain't gonna lie, I just don't want to have something happen to me. I got a family too, and I don't want them to have to go through what Charlie Kirk family going through because I want to talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? So for those that want to enjoy the protests, please be safe out there. But you can always find that out with the hashtag #NoKings. Look it up online. It'll take you to the website, and you can find the organized protests in your area. And if you want to be part of them, you can. I'm signed into stuff. I like to know what's going on in my area. I will not be out there destroying anything because I don't believe in that. But I do believe people coming together in a peaceful protest is an American right. And when it goes well and nobody gets hurt, I think it shows the good side of our country. So I'm all for the No Kings protest. I'm not necessarily, promoting it. But for those people that want to have their voices heard, don't go sit on a rooftop and shoot somebody. Go to the protest, go to the ballot box, go to your city council, go do some things that are actually going to be productive. That's all I wanted to say on that piece. But let me get ready to close this thing out because we got to get out of here. We do have to get out of here. But make sure anybody that's still watching, especially if you're a mod, I need you in the Discord server. Got to get on the Discord because we talk about some of the topics on the Discord before we actually bring them to the people because some shit just won't fly. Some of these stories, the terminology in them, topics, YouTube is way too sensitive for it. So we get to have those discussions in the Discord. Now, for some reason, the Discord link did not come up as it should from my Stream Elements bot that runs in the chat. I don't see it there. So I'm hoping that it was there at the top somewhere. Nope. Oh, I got to just type in Discord and it should come up. That's what it's supposed to do. Go ahead. Type in Discord. That should make it come up. Not working. Anyway, so the Stream Elements bot just is probably pissed off at us right now. Somebody must have came for us. But nonetheless, let me bring this back over. Let's finish this thing out. I don't know if we're going to get canceled in the near future over the stuff that we have to say, but they are definitely setting it up so that if somebody has a complaint, they can definitely complain and get you taken off the air. But then again, wasn't that always the way? Hasn't that been the thing for a minute? I missed something. All right, let me bring this thing back over. So welcome to 2025 Quiet Place, where if you say some shit that they don't like, a monster is going to come out the woods and you're done for. Just like the movie Quiet Place. Jimmy Kimmel was on the air on that show for 2 decades, was it? 20 years. And got canceled over what was not, it was relatively mild joke, I'll be honest. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, not even close. And he got snatched. So it says a lot about being an employee. When you work somewhere for that long and you have that much of influence, you should start your own shit. We done seen too many people that are part of a network. The network has ties to the president. President threatens to sue them if they don't fire a certain person. And before you know it, that person's gone. And that's not how it's supposed to work. Because Trump will be gone in a couple of years. Like his term will be over. So
if he makes it to the end,
yeah.
like he's old though.
He is old. But that's what I'm saying. Once we put this precedent in there where just disagreeing with something or making a not so funny joke. I mean, it was relatively funny. The construction as the 4th stage of grief, that was actually kind of humorous. They wanted to say it was the line about him saying that the MAGA folks were trying to prove that he wasn't one of them for the whole weekend. That line was apparently what stuck.
That's splitting hairs, though.
Exactly, because that is exactly what happened.
They were saying that it was a leftist such and such. That's what they kept on saying. They kept on saying that. What Bondi said that. What's the little guy with the yarmulke? What's this guy's name? I forget. Anyway, that guy was saying, a whole bunch of people were saying it was a leftist attack. And then, they were trying to blame it on that guy when they knew nothing. They knew nothing of who it was. Right. And what he said was like, they're trying to make it sound like it wasn't one of them. which is what they were doing, but they're splitting hairs.
That's what I'm saying. That was what was going on. So that's why I was a little confused about the whole thing, because it sounded like he was just identifying what happened. Isn't that what happened? Like, I don't know.
That's what it looked like to me.
I don't know. I try to, I remain impartial for the reasons of being able to hear these things and try to do, more research. But I just really didn't think Jimmy Kimmel, I didn't think it was worth all of that. I really didn't.
Well, the thing is, to me, it's real funny is that there is validity to like what a lot of people are saying, and No Reply is saying in the chat. Jimmy Kimmel wasn't bringing the numbers. No late night show is bringing the numbers because it's a dead format. And just to be honest with you, first of all, who is watching network TV?
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? Terrestrial network TV.
Old
and
people.
then who's going to be up that late? To watch those shows and watch network terrestrial TV. And so that whole format's been dead for a while and just hemorrhaging money. But they can't have dead air. So that's why they had the show. But that's neither here nor there. It is a retribution that's happening from the White House through the FCC to a comedian. And that none of us should stand for that.
Leave funny alone. That's what I've been saying for months. If it's funny, leave it alone. Just go after the people that are messing with the children, the pedos, the murderers. Let's go after that. Let's focus on that. Let's not focus on Jimmy Kimmel, whether or not we can say that we disagreed with some of Charlie Kirk's talking points. Like, the fact that we can't disagree is problematic to me. That's where you're gonna make me disagree. I'm gonna disagree with that fact alone, and now I'm gonna find a bunch of shit to disagree, and I'm gonna see what they do. Because I ain't no punk. You're not gonna tell me I can't not like something, right? Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean I can't? If you get bad press, Mr. President, it's probably because you're doing some things that some people don't like, and so that's the way that they're presenting it in the news. You have a whole population of people here in the U.S. They're not all going to like you. And unfortunately, a lot of the ones that don't like you own the networks. So that's something that comes along with it. But who cares? You won the presidency. Who gives a damn what the news is saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, who cares? What cares? And he sued ABC for $15 million. Or $15 billion.
ABC would have won the lawsuit, but they were just bending the knee so they could get their merger in. That's what happened. They were in the middle of a merger, and they let it go through. You know what I mean?
And shouts to No Reply. No Reply is up on the info as well. And thanks for joining the Discord as well. I saw you join. But Gutfield is getting hella numbers right now. And it's really
what channel is that?
But that's Fox. That's Fox News.
That's cable,
stuff.
Right.
Right.
That's not terrestrial network TV.
No, you know what I mean? I think you can get Gutfield on regular TV. I don't know. I've never watched it on regular TV. I see clips that come through YouTube because I spend a lot of time on YouTube. But Gutfield got out there. He said some shit that was a little crazy the first or second day. He cussed out this lady a little bit on the show, and nobody seemed to say anything about that. I mean, obviously he was grieving a little bit, but he was like, "Miss me with your bullshit. This is bullshit." Yeah. So if he can say something's bullshit, I don't see why nobody else can say. That's all I'm saying. I think free speech is, if we don't have nothing else in this country, the free speech thing, at least let us say what the hell we got to say. I might not be able to do what I want to do, but at least if I have an opinion, expressing that is an American right. If I think you're an asshole and I say I think you're an asshole, that is my God-given and American right. And I don't appreciate them trying to tell me that I need to change my opinion because you don't like my opinion. Change my opinion by doing something that changes my opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion because you don't like my opinion. I will change my opinion when you change the shit you doing that's making me have the bad opinion or the negative opinion of you. then you can change that. But other than that, no, I don't like any of this. I think this is goofy. I think they're coming for Candace Owens next. She's going to get canceled between this Charlie Kirk thing and the thing with the French president's wife being a man or whatever she's working on over there.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to cancel her soon. And it sucks because she's made a name for herself after getting fired off of Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro in there.
Right. That guy, Ben Shapiro, yeah.
Yeah,
that was
Shapiro, man. And he's trying to move into Charlie Kirk's spot. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, that's who it is. But we can't say all of that because you know.
Oh, yeah, and speaking of that, like, what the hell is JD Vance doing a podcast? Like, that's
you know
crazy.
what? You know what? Sitting all up in Charlie Kirk area, man, and everybody's using it. Everybody's using it to monetize stuff. People are they're taking it too far. And I'll be honest with you. I think
Stephen Miller was there. Stephen Miller there. Then wait, okay. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember that movie Sin City?
Yeah.
Doesn't Stephen Miller look like the yellow bastard? The yellow. Doesn't it look like him? Yeah. The dude that got his genitals ripped off. He looks exactly like him, yo. So
this is this is where we at, man. This is where we at. So No Reply did fill us in on the last piece here, which is Jimmy Kimmel was on regular network TV.
Yep.
And because of that,
not.
Yeah, Gutfield is part of the Fox cable part. And
correct.
But even so, I didn't think Kimmel's joke was that bad. And I don't know if I'm wrong for saying that, but people in America say real heinous shit. Go on X for a couple hours. You'll feel way worse than you did listening to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. I'm like, X will show you murders unsolicited.
Unsolicited.
You know what I mean?
That's where I saw the Charlie Kirk video. Was on X.
Right.
So
see, I keep myself away from that because you just can't unsee things.
Yeah.
You can't unsee things. So I just keep myself away.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it is, like, for me, when I'm on X, because I got to scrape the internet and stuff for this content, X makes me feel dirty. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
If I'm on X for too long, when I get off of X, I feel like I need to go take a shower. It feels dirty.
Right.
But the truth of it is, a lot of the content is botted. So it's like racist bots running around on X, causing people to feel a certain type of way, because that's what happens is you see 1,000 people say something, and you might mildly feel like that, but then you're like, well, 1,000 other people say that. I guess I can jump on that bandwagon, not knowing that the other 1,000 people were bots. They're not real people. They're not going to lose their job.
That's how Elon tried to get out of the sale in the first place, because he said there's too many bots on here. You can't prove that you're getting rid of or doing anything about them and XYZ. And when he was forced to buy it, he did nothing about it. He increased them and made them more racist.
No Reply put in. No Reply put the comment in. I'm glad I don't have any social media at all. But to be fair, I'm banned on all those platforms. So there wasn't a choice. That wasn't a choice. You didn't get to choose that. But I've only been banned on TikTok. That's the only one that banned me. They shut my whole page down for using AI.
I haven't had the pleasure.
Yeah, for using AI to schedule posts. Had AI scheduling the post for about a week or two, and I never went on the TikTok. That was the other thing. If you use AI to schedule things, you must visit these sites yourself too. So if I have Facebook stuff automated, it knows whether or not I've actually logged into Facebook myself. So it looks for that. So TikTok was known for that, and that's what I did wrong. I was just automating posting, but I wasn't actually coming back and checking the likes and the comments, and so it thought that it was a spam page, and that's what happened. So nonetheless,
there you go.
We got to get ready to get up out of here. I feel like I have purged enough BS to get me through the next 2 days. Because I know come Monday, it's going to be something crazy. It's going to be this Charlie Kirk thing is going on tomorrow. Hopefully, people act right. I'm going to give y'all my phrase one more time. Anybody that's out there thinking of doing something crazy at the damn funeral or memorial, let them have it. Okay? You're not going to stop this thing. So let them have it. Then when the dust is settling, you see where things are. Now you can move into the right spaces, make some changes. You're not going to change whether or not they're doing what they're doing. The whole holiday thing, though, I think they need to revisit that. I don't think that was appropriate, considering the issue of how polarizing some of his views were, I think the holiday thing was pushing it a little. That'd be like, I'm not even gonna say.
What do you mean by let them have it? Like let them have it, like walk away, or let them have it like a rooftop, couple yards? Oh, never mind.
No, because we don't promote violence on the show.
We
I'm
don't.
saying,
I know.
I'm saying let them have it because you can't stop this part of it. This is gonna happen. So the only thing you'll end up doing is getting yourself in trouble, getting fired from work or whatever. So just let them have it. Let them finish this thing up. Let them put this guy in the ground, and then we're gonna have to have some of these discussions again. Right now, it's still fresh. It's still volatile. They're still canceling people. You're gonna have to let them have it. Because if not, you won't be around to have the discussion later because they'll get you canceled for just having an offensive or opposing view of this thing. So that's what I'm saying. Let them have it. That's their folks. They love them that much. Let them have it. But when they start talking about we got to get a day off from school or work for Charlie Kirk Day, I could think of a few more people that would deserve a holiday before I'd put Charlie Kirk's name into that. That's just me. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I'm just saying as far as tomorrow, don't nobody go over to State Farm Arena on no dumb shit. They're going to be very emotional over there, and you might get hurt. So let them have it.
You're hurting your own argument. You're hurting your own argument if you go over there on some ugly stuff.
Exactly. So that's why you got to let this happen, and then we're going to come back to the table after the fact, and we'll see where we end up. But as far as...
No, did he?
Yeah, we'll come back to the table. We're going to come back to the table because this ain't over yet. This ain't over yet. This is actually just getting started. He's starting to ban people from speaking is going to be a problem. Now we're going to be out on the street or find a particular forum that's not going to be run by the same group that's going to kowtow to him or bend down to him. And everybody will end up on like Rumble or something. So I don't know. But anyway, let's get up out of here, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Let's get up out of here. So special shouts to No Reply and congratulations to No Reply for getting the wrench of purganisticness today. That you, yes, you get an applause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I don't give out a lot of wrenches. You only get a couple. And let's see, who else we got to get the shout outs to? Who else was in here? Of course, we had IMZ. The lovely IMZ was in here. We had, who else did we have?
Albon.
Oh, yeah, Al, my sergeant at arms, always. Purple Groovy. We had some of the regulars. Y'all are strong. Purple Groovy, No Reply, Albon, IMZ. Yep. Y'all keep this thing going, and I appreciate y'all for being like that because I know sometimes you don't even know that we're on because the type of content we do does not fit specifically into any niche or anything within the algorithm. Why it's hard to push the content because they don't know to put us in news and politics, entertainment, comedy, education. They don't know because we cover so many topics in the same episode, it throws the algorithm off. So you guys being mods, sharing the content, being part of the Discord, that's how we're going to get this thing to keep growing because we have confused the shit out of this algorithm to the point where I had to complain to it in order for them to let us actually have a little bit of push. Now, we didn't do crazy numbers tonight, but I know we're over 1,000 views at least on this video, which is cool because for a month and a half, we couldn't get 1,000 views on nothing. Now it's been nothing less than 1,000. So change is there. And I'm not saying it's because people went back to school because that didn't happen this week. This all happened after a conversation with @Team YouTube on X, which is its own goofiness that we have to have customer service for YouTube through X. Try chatting with the thing that comes up. That shit is horrible. It's a bot. It's a bot. Basically, it's all bots now. So nonetheless, if I missed anybody, I don't think I missed anybody. I don't think I did. Everybody who was chatting was chatting. If you did not hit the like button, go ahead and do so now because we are about to get out of here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that as well. I'll be back on Tuesday and Thursday, but I think we're off next Saturday. Okay? So just letting you know, Bravo, we are off next Saturday. I'll be traveling.
All right.
I'll probably see you, but we won't be online. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I do know.
You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, everybody else, Guys, I appreciate y'all stopping in. Keep your voices heard. Make sure you hit them ballot boxes. Make sure you do what you got to do. And if you're interested in finding out how people feel on the street, attend one of the No Kings protests and see what people are talking about. Have a good conversation, no violence, just a discussion and a debate. And maybe we can come to an agreement on something in the middle. But if you're just out here to do nefarious shit and just mess it up, then I don't really want you around, and hopefully the law enforcement that'll be on site will take it. But other than that, I'm done. So they want us to be quiet, Bravo. What you think about that?
Good luck with that shit.
Because that, my friends, is the bullshit. And we out of here. Peace. Thank y'all.